What made the popular kid lose popularity? 1. On the last day of school, one of the well-liked class clown types played a fake seizure prank in a certain teacher's class. He didn't realize she'd had a student literally pass away in her arms the previous year, and she had a panic attack thinking it was happening again. The people who knew about her history quickly spread the word, and everyone gave him a really hard time for it. He denies it happened to this day, but I was in the room when it happened. I remember being afraid for him, then growing annoyed and silently angry when he started laughing while she began to cry. 2. We graduated and he found out that nobody cares that you were a star linebacker after high school. 3. There was this big fight between him and this other kid who was a pretty big jerk. Everyone knew it was coming and there was a decent-sized crowd. Everyone was rooting for him. He ended up really beating the guy pretty badly, which I think shocked most of the kids. Fights at school usually got broken up pretty quickly, but this was after school off-site, so there was no authority figure there to stop it. Then he smashed the kid's car windows with a tire iron before whipping it out and urinating on the kid who was still unconscious. This was before camera phones, but someone brought a digital camcorder and the video wound up on a couple websites. Everyone in school wound up seeing it and no one really looked at that kid the same way again. 4. We didn't see him much after he knocked up his girlfriend and had to drop out of 7th grade. I'm not joking. They were both 7th grader preteens. They kept the baby and their families made him drop out and get a job to support it. This was in the US in the 90s and it's super sad. 5. To quote a close friend of mine, he was cool when he was 13 and then he never changed. 6. Let this be a lesson to parents: listen to your kids when they say they're sick. Back in 7th grade there was this kid, let's call him Greg. He wasn't super popular, but he had lots of friends and got along with everyone. One day during lunch, Greg's friend group tried to sit at our table, but there wasn't enough room. When we asked why they didn't just sit at their usual spot, one of them pointed at Greg, who was sitting all alone, and said, "Greg went number 2 on himself in class, and smells really bad." The poor kid just sat there staring at a wall the entire lunch period. I'll never forget that face either. He was just completely void of all emotion. It was so sad to look at. I've never seen anyone look so hollow. Later we found out Greg had a stomach bug, but since he didn't have a fever, his mom sent him to school anyway. During class he had the accident and it was so loud it was impossible to ignore. He ran to the bathroom, leaving a trail behind. The worst part of it all though was that it happened early in the morning, and his mother came to deliver him a change of pants, but didn't pick him up or anything. The poor kid had to sit through the rest of the school day. I look back on that and still think about how crazy it was that within a day, he lost every one of his friends and his entire social life was ruined for the next 5 years. Even in high school he was known as the kid who had that accident in 7th grade.